Hey, how's it going, everyone? This is PD Proudlock. So I'm here to do my Premier League predictions for the 2019-20 season. And the way I'm going to do this video is I'm going to do it on who will finish first, so who'll win the Premier League, who will get into the top four and get into the Champions League, who will get into the Europa League, who is going to be relegated for next season, and where do I think my team, Newcastle, will finish next season. So I'm going to start off with the teams to be relegated for next season. And I'm not going to do this in any order whatsoever. I'm just going to name the three that I've chosen and say why I have chosen these teams that I think they will be relegated. So the first team I'm going to pick to be relegated for next season is Brighton. They were very lucky to stay in the Premier League last season. Only just stayed up by the skin of their teeth. Chris Hughton was sacked after Brighton found out that they were safe. To me, the way that happened was absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. It felt like the way we got rid of him when we got promoted, and then we were sitting about mid-table and he was gone. So I think the way they've handled with the Chris Hughton sack was absolutely disgraceful. Graham Potter is the new manager. Has he managed in the Premier League? No, don't think so by the looks of it. And Knockout's been sent out on loan. He was a key player for them last season. And I think this, maybe the next season, is where their luck will run out this time. Is Glenn Murray going to continue his goal tally? He is knocking on. They did bring a striker from Brentford. I can't remember his name, so I apologise about that. But is he Premier League proven? We don't know yet. So that is why that is the first team I'm going to go for to be relegated, is Brighton. The second team I'm going to say to be relegated is Sheffield United. I do not think they have strengthened enough going into next season. I know they did get Mousset from Bournemouth, but to me, is that enough? No. And the last time they were in the Premier League in the 2006-07 season, they did unfortunately go straight back down, in my opinion. So that is the other team I'm going to have to be relegated, is Sheffield United. The third team to be relegated, and it's another promoted side, and it's going to be Norwich City. Again, I don't think they have strengthened enough as well, in my opinion. I know they did bring a keeper in who's played in the Champions League. And I think, did he bring in another player in? I forgot his name. But again, that's not a lot of signings by the sound of it. And yeah, that is... And Norwich are a bit of a yo-yo side when they get promoted and then they end up going straight back down a lot of the time. So yeah, Unfortunately, that's why I've gone for Norwich. So I've picked two promoted teams to be relegated and one that just stayed up for last season. So there are my three to be relegated: Brighton, Sheffield United and Norwich to go down next season. Some people think I bet some people are surprised that I didn't put Villa in there. I think they've spent very well, in my opinion. I know we could say Fulham did the same, spent over 100 million, but still got relegated. I think Villa knew what they had to do, so they quickly had to do. They didn't waste any time going into the transfer market, in my opinion, to get those signings, and I think they might do okay for next season. So yeah, right, the team to win the Premier League is what I'm going to touch on next, and to me it's going to be Manchester City. Who will ever catch them? I know there was a thingy between Liverpool and Man City last season, but I think Man City are just too good, in my opinion. They've still got Aguero. Sane is still there, even though there's talks he could go to Bayern Munich, but I don't know. Bernardo Silva, a great young talent as well. Gabriel Jesus, another great young talent as well. They did beat Liverpool in the Community Shield as well. Edison, the keeper, great keeper as well. I think I think they did replace Vincent Company. I think they did. I know he's gone, but I think he was replaced by the sound of it. I know they're getting a new player, and I think Danilo's going the opposite way. So yeah, and Pep Guardiola, he's a fantastic manager as well. And if Aguero again is banging in goals for next season, he's going to be causing teams a lot of problems. Also Sterling, another player as well, who has been amazing for them as well. So I think Manchester City next season are going to win the Premier League again. To finish second, this might be a shock to some of you. I'm actually going to go for Spurs, actually. And thinking, wow, I've gone for Spurs. They've finished in the Champions League last season. I think they have added a couple of extra players to their squad. And they've spent big money on them as well. And they've still got Harry Kane, Dele Alli, even though he could be missing for the first few weeks of the season. They've still got Son, Eriksen, players like them. Lloris, fantastic keeper as well. I think defensively they're pretty good as well. I know they've sold Trippier, but again, they fetched in a replacement for him as well. And I think Rose could be going out, but I think Davis is a decent player as well. Ben Davis, I think he is, who's playing in that left back spot. I think, and yes, I think Spurs will carry on great form for next season, and I think they maybe have a chance of going in, a chance to try and win the Premier League. But I think by the way that they have slightly strengthened as well in this transfer market with a couple of new additions, spending big money on them, I think they're going to do very well again. And I've tipped them to finish second for next season. Team to finish third is I'm going to go for Liverpool. They're not really strengthened, have they? Maybe a couple of young ones. And it could come back to bite them. You never know. But they've still got Firmino, Salah, Mane, Origi. Looks like he's showing signs that he's really looking good for starting games as well. So yeah, I think Liverpool will still come good, but I think they might just miss going on the top two this time. And I've said I'm going to tip them to finish third for next season. The team to finish fourth is I'm going to go for Arsenal. I know they have been finishing outside the Champions League for the past 3 seasons now because they've been letting in silly goals. Their defence is all over the place at times. But with the addition of Nicolas Pepe to the squad, I think their attack is going to be way more deadly for next season. In my opinion, I would say And they could still go in the transfer market, maybe still get a centre-back. Maybe they could still get Tierney, you never know. They could still maybe shift out a couple of dead wood out of their squad. I know Koscielny looks like he's on his way to Bordeaux, and Carl Jenkinson looks like he's on his way to the club. But they've still got Mustafi in their squad, majority of times a liability. But I think what did cost them not going into the Champions League next season, not just down to the utter humiliation in the Europa League final, was that game against Crystal Palace where Emery was trying to be a bit clever, playing like second-rated players in that game, and it cost them big time. And then their away form started to go way downhill towards the end of the season. So I think Emery will learn from that not to do that again. And if he doesn't do that again, I think Arsenal will maybe have a chance to get into the Champions League for next season. So that is the team to finish fourth, and I'm going to go for Arsenal. And I think they have a chance, definitely got a bigger chance of getting into the Champions League football for next season. The teams to finish now outside of the top 4. The team to finish fifth is I'm going to go with Manchester United. I know they've bought in Harry Maguire for £80 million, and even though he's not worth that much, you've got to say about that. But yeah, they still don't know what's going to happen. Like with Lukaku, there's flies everywhere, so I apologise. And they've still got likes of Mata signed a new contract with them. They've still got Rashford as well, a decent young lad as well. So yeah, they maybe could still go in with a few more. I know they were linked with Bruno Fernandes. It looks like the Diabala thing is now ended, so it looks like he's not going to go to Manchester United. Lukaku still could be on his way out of the club. But you never know. It all depends how Solskjaer's team does next season, because it was really going downhill at the end of the season, wasn't it? So, yeah. But I think they maybe might do alright for next season. Depends if Harry Maguire is on his game and manages to sniff out a lot of attacking players, depending who they're going to be playing against. So, yeah. So I'm going to go for Manchester United to finish 5th. The team to finish 6th and also get into the Europa League is I'm going to go with Chelsea. Frank Lampard's first season since he's come in, but we know Chelsea have got a transfer ban as well. So they've not been able to sign players in this transfer market. Also, Eden Hazard's gone to Real Madrid. He's not there anymore. He was the key player for them last season as well, and what made them win the Europa League final last season as well. So I don't think it's going to be, so you never know. Chelsea could struggle a bit next season. But again, and it is Frank Lampard's first time in the Premier League. So I know Chelsea fans will support him. They will, because he has been a legend for them as well. Even they might accept that, finishing outside the top 4 is okay for them, but I don't really know. Chelsea fans might be thinking different. They're thinking, no, we've got to get back into the Champions League. But as I said, because they've got a transfer ban, I don't see them finishing in the Champions League spot, and I've said it for them to finish 6th, sorry. I think Wolves could finish 7th again. I know they were brilliant last season, but yeah, and also in the Europa League as well. So yeah, so it just depends how Wolves get off to a start next season, and also the likes of Chelsea. But I've said Chelsea will finish in that 6th pot. Now, where are Newcastle going to finish next season? Rafa Benitez gone. Steve Bruce's manager. Probably think he's another yes man. We know he's a local lad, but I think the fans are going to give him his support, including myself, even though I said I'm not going to be going to home games next season as well, because the way I felt about Ray, the Rafa Benitez was shifted out the door, and to me, we should have brought these signings in a lot earlier, and also get a new manager in earlier as possible, because we knew Rafa was going to go at the end of the season, but we know the board here at this football club are an absolute joke. They think the fans are going to fall for it, so they'll just we'll wait a few days left before Rafa's contract expires, then we'll announce it then. My God. But I'm feeling a little bit more optimistic. I know we also saw Perez and Rondon didn't join permanently, but we have brought in Joe Linton, and he scored in his last 2 friendlies that we've played. We have brought St. Alan Maximin, and he pretty well looks a decent player in that game also against St. Etienne last Saturday in the friendly. And we did get a left back in Williams, and again looks pretty decent. As I said, we better not waste him like we did with Barreca. There's still a couple of more days left in the transfer market. I still think we need another striker and a right back, and we'll just have to see how it goes from there. I think there's rumours of a right back called Kraft in the Swedish leagues, and also was a full back talking from Bordeaux. We'll have to see if we do get any of those crossed over the line as well. But yeah, there could still be some of our players going out the door, but I think Steve Bruce has now realised he wants to keep the big players next season, and hopefully the fans want to see Alan Maximum, Joe Lennon and Almiron is an attacking front 3. I think Newcastle will play wing back systems next season. I know Rafa Benitez did it for last season. That might just how it might just work for us next season. So yeah, and if the front attacking 3 gel very well for us, we could maybe have a good season under Steve Bruce, even though there's a fans thinking we're not going to do it, even though some fans are writing us off saying we are going to be relegated for next season. But you don't like to predict your own team to go down, though, do you? So yeah, and I'm going to see Newcastle will finish 15th for next season, and maybe a lot of fans will accept that, the way things have went on in the summer, like Rafa going out the door, selling Perez, not buying Rondon permanently. But I think Steve Bruce has addressed areas that need strengthening, and if he gets the team gelling well together, us fans will definitely be able to support them. So hopefully, Lee, will we have a decent season next season? Well, let me know in the comments section what you think about my predictions that I have gone for. I know I didn't touch on the other teams because to me it's going to be hard to predict from where they're to finish, but I've just gone with I think where these teams will finish for last season. I'll probably not be 100% right. So again, let me know in the comments section what you think. So give me a like, comment as I've said, and if you're also new and haven't checked me out on my channel before, please make sure you do hit that subscribe button. There's going to be video on coming in the next couple of days about, because like we'll be going to be discussing like all the thing what happened in the transfer activity and all of that, and the signings we're bringing, who's gone out the door and all that. So we're going to be discussing all of that, and also yeah, so hope you've enjoyed it, and I will. So hope you've, as I said, hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch you all later. Take care of yourselves. Looking forward to the new season.